Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, April 23rd, 2020, and we've got a lot to do today. We're going to go over our math for today I forgot to do it on our Wednesday video. And we're going to go over our topic 12 assessment real quick. We'll try to go through it as fast as possible, and I'll put the answers in there. And then also I put our task cards for today in your Google Classroom. So I will show you where that is in just a moment. Before we get started, let's go over what we're doing today. So today we are going to do morning work, page 126, correct math for today with the teacher, Spelling City, 2 assignments. I guess I planned to do math for today. I was with some of you that said, hey, where's our math for today yesterday? And then we have animals, get ready, do the question set in vocabulary. And then in vocabulary, if you would like to, you can go back to your picture dictionary and write our 5 words from this week and draw a picture to go with them. And if you need to remember what the words were, you can go to our Google Classroom and it has it listed right there. And then we're going to be doing our grammar task cards, reviewing for Unit 3. And that is also in Google Classroom. You have a writing lesson for Lesson 8 for your informational writing. And that will be the last one for this week. So if you need time Friday, Saturday, or Sunday to catch up on any of the writing assignments up through 8, you'll have plenty of time to do that. And then we were supposed to do Envision Math Topic 13, Lesson 13.1. So what we're going to do is we're going to move that to next week because I feel like that is a lot of work to do today. So if you have a pencil, if you've got it already printed off, or just if you want to remember in your mind, we're going to skip this lesson for now, and we're going to do it next week, okay? Draw lines through it. All right. So let's go ahead and start with our morning work. So it says, write a word from the box that has a related meaning to the group of words. So the words we have are undersize, amusing, and friendly. So after you finish this morning work page, you can always show an adult or an older sibling, have them check it over, see if they see any mistakes. But otherwise, I'm not grading that paper. I just want you to, keep your learning going. And we've already made those books, so we'll keep working on that. So if you are funny, silly, joking, or entertaining, would you be undersized, amusing, or friendly? So you'll write that in number 1. And number 2 says, kind, sweet, nice, and caring. Which one would you pick for that? Undersized, amusing, friendly. And then 3 is wee, small, tiny, little. Would that be undersized, amusing, or friendly? So that's what you put in that spot there. On our math part over here, solve the problem. So Charlize picked up a pen. How much does the pen likely weigh? Do you think it weighs a pound, or do you think it weighs an ounce? Number 5 says, Bocian, interesting name, picked up a large papaya. How much does the papaya likely weigh? Do you think a papaya would be 2 pounds? So it's quite a bit. Or 2 ounces? Number 6, Andrew picked up a thick textbook. How much does the textbook likely weigh? So a textbook might be nice and heavy. Do you think it would be 3 pounds or 3 ounces? Remember that we said that a pen, most likely not a pound. So figuring out that part might help. Oopsie, my finger is very quick on that. Let's go to read the text, then answer the items. So our questions to keep in mind. Number 7, underline the main idea of the text, then write 1 detail from the text that supports it. So when you read this whole thing, what's the main idea? Why did they write that? What is the message they're trying to get? And how do you know? 1 detail that helps you know that that's what the answer is. Number 8 says, Do the animal relationships mentioned in the text surprise you? So they're going to mention some animal relationships in there. Did any of it surprise you? If yes, why? If no, why not? So why were you not surprised, or why were you surprised? All right. Some animal relationships are unusual and surprising to people. At a zoo in the US, a small dog was brought into an area where a lion lived, and the two animals became fast friends. In Africa, a lioness took care of a baby antelope for days. Usually, lions hunt antelopes as prey. Other kinds of animal friendships have been caught on camera. A hippo and a baby elephant met at the same time every day to play together in a pond. An elephant lets a small dog crawl all over her and then play together daily. At another zoo in the US, a chimpanzee cuddles with a tiger cub. There are also pictures of a fox and a cat who play together and cuddle. It is heartwarming to see animals of different species being friendly. All right, so you'll write in there what's the main idea of this whole story. Why did they write it? What were they trying to show us? How do you know? Give us one detail. And then, did any of their relationships, any of their friendships they had, did any of those surprise you? I would have to say for me, I think some of those surprised me. All right. And then we have our task card review. Whoopsie. Back here. It's getting kind of fast. All right, so we have our task card review, and let me scooch us down there. Come on. Here we go, here we go, here we go. All right, so on our task card review, you're going to go to, look at me flipping it around. There we go. We're going to go to Google Classroom. So here's Google Classroom, and in our classwork, it says task cards for Unit 3 review. So we're going to click on that, and that's going to open up all of our task cards so that you can take your time to read through those. So we're going to choose A, B, or C. An eagle is largest, larger, more large than a dove. I think we're going to have lots of me to duplicate over here. Not sure why it does that. I wish I had this many of me to help me get all of my things done. 6, but I'd have so much time. At least one of me would. All right, so number 2 says, these are the prettiest, most prettiest, excuse me, let me reread that again. These are the prettier flowers, most prettiest, or prettiest flowers I have ever seen. A, B, or C. Number 3, she is the most beautiful, the beautifulest, the more beautiful baby. Number 4, math is difficultest, more difficult this year than it was last year. And if you need to get your notebook out to help with that, that's totally fine. All right, the next slide, number 5, says, so it says identify the conjunction. So on this one, we're going to write the conjunction in there. I wore sunscreen because we are going to the beach. A very good clue is going to be that there's a comma right there. The next word would be our conjunction. Number 6 says, soccer and baseball are my favorite sports. So what word in there is a conjunction? Remember, they hook up words and phrases and sentences and clauses. Number 7 says, I don't really like watching TV, but I love going to the movie theater. Write the conjunction in space number 7. Number 8, it is going to be hot tomorrow, so you should wear shorts. Write your conjunction on that one. All right. The next slide. So we just click down here on this left-hand side here. The next slide says identify the subject in the sentence. So the subject tells who or what. is important in the sentence. Chase and Finn read the book together. So remember, you can ask your subject question. Who read the book together? And then you can find your answer for your subject. Dad picked me up from school. Who picked me up from school? Number 11. The bluebird chirped from high in the tree. Who chirped from high in the tree? Mr. Black signed the paper. Who signed the paper? All right, and then on this one it says, which word makes the subject and the verb agree? So remember, if it's a singular verb, then we had to have a plural noun. If we have a singular noun, then we need a plural verb. So the kids, which means more than one, run to the park or runs to the park? A or B? Number 14, mom whisper or mom whispers because the baby is sleeping. Number 15, Emily and him, Emily and she, Emily and I are going to the party. Number 16, are you coming to she, my, or him house after school? All right, so just A, B, or C on those. Okay, on this one, is the sentence simple or compound? So I think you could write an S or you could write a C. An S for simple, a C for compound. Jared read his book and practiced his piano. Is that a simple sentence or is that a compound sentence? Remember, you can look back in your notebook. A compound sentence is when you take two simple sentences and make them into one. Should we have pizza delivered or should we go out to eat? Simple or compound? Number 18. Number 19, I want to go to the movies, but I need to do my chores. Simple or compound? Riley bought new folders, pencils, and erasers for school. Simple or compound? All right. So this last set of slides is writing the book title. So they're all books. How do we write the book title? Remember, we need to always capitalize the first word and, the first word and the last word in a sentence. We need to capitalize anytime it's a noun, anytime it's a verb, anytime it's an adjective which describes a noun, and anytime it's an adverb which describes the verb. So also remember that if it is a word that is less than 4 letters, we leave it lowercase unless it is a pronoun or a noun, a pronoun or a noun that's in there. So the cat and the hat. So in that little space you have, try to write in how you would write that title. What should be capitalized? Number 22, diary of a fly. Which words need to be capitalized? Number 23, the relatives came. 24, the giving tree. All right, so make sure you get that filled in, and then I will be sending the answer key tomorrow. Let me make myself a little note to do that for tomorrow. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get out our math for today, and we're going to correct that in just a moment. All right, got myself a note. All right. So our math for today was on Monday. So let me scroll back up here to Monday. Oh, and we need to go back to our original view. Our daily assignment checkoff sheet. And here we are. All right, so I've put some text box in there so it might help us get through this a little bit quicker. All right, so day 1. In 4 days, Paige saw a total of 32 skydivers. So we know our total is 32. Okay. Divided, we're going to use that little line that I talked about, meaning divided, by 4 days. And that would equal, I'm going to make a little bit space, if it will cooperate with me, so that we can see that's not a fraction. This is a division line. Okay. 32 divided by 4 would give you how many skydivers each day? So each day you would have 8 skydivers. All right, so blank divided by 2 equals 5, or 5 times 2 equals 10. Should be, whoopsie, I deleted the whole thing. Apparently it wants me to keep erasing all those. We'll get it, we'll get it. All right, so let's go to 1 times what would give you 9? Well, we know that any number times 1 will be itself, so 1 times 9. And 42 divided by 7 equals what? Or 7 times what equals 42? That would be 6. All right, label 4 eighths on the number line. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm looking for 4 eighths. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's put our little mark there. Okay. And then in my little text box here, I'm going to write 4 eighths. And then we're going to mark 6 eighths. Well, if this is 4, this is 5, 6. Put our spot right here. And we're going to write our fraction in. All right. On day 2, Tavares has 2 pairs of pants hanging in his closet. Each pair of pants has 2 pockets. How many pockets in all? 2 groups. 2 groups of 2 equals 4 pockets. Right. Divide the circle into thirds. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to make my line really thin. Let's choose green. And we're going to divide this into thirds. So if I go as close as I possibly can. Let's give it a shot one more time. Okay, and then it says to shade in 2/3. So we have 1/3 we're going to shade in. And 2/3. Second one we're going to shade in. So that only that little part is left. That 1/3 is left. All right. Let's go to write greater than, less than, or equal to make this statement true. So think of it this way. Would you rather have a piece of cake that had been cut into 6 pieces and you get 1? Or would you rather have that same size cake cut into 4 pieces and only get 1? If it's your favorite cake, I would want the one that's bigger. So remember, the larger the denominator, the number on the bottom, the bigger that one is, it actually means the piece is smaller. It means that you took something and now you've cut it into smaller pieces. So 16, just 16 is a pretty big number. But if we cut a cake into 16 pieces, the pieces are going to be smaller. If I cut the cake into 4 pieces, the pieces are going to be huge. So we're going to make our symbol here is going to be that shape right there. It's just a little tiny. I'm going to make it bigger. Oh, I guess I can't make it any bigger. Well, here's what we'll do. We're going to use this handy dandy little guy. There we go. On to this one. Complete the related facts. "24 divided by 8 equals what number?" Or 8 times 3 would equal 24. 42 divided by 6 would equal what? Or 6 times 7 would equal 42. And 16 divided by 4, or 4 times 4 would equal 16. All right, let's try to cruise up here a little bit. On day 3, so you can always go back and look at this on the video. On day 3, Valerie has 59 scarves in her closet. In all, 14 of the scarves are red, 29 of the scarves are striped, and the remaining scarves are white. How many of Valerie's scarves are white? So first of all, let's put together what we know. So we know that 14 plus 29, we add that together, excuse me, is going to equal 43. And then if you come down here, and now we're going to take that 43 away from the 59, 43, and that's going to equal 16. Hopefully that's the same way you figured it out. So our answer is 16 scarves are white. Are the two fractions equivalent? This one's broken up into fourths. This one is broken up into thirds. This one has nothing colored in. All 4 pieces are here. And this one has one of them. Are they equivalent? Are they the exact same? No, they are not the exact same. Okay. I'm going to do some multiplication here. So 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 9 is 36. 48 divided by 6 is 8. I miss the days when you guys would come up on the board and answer these for us together. Those were good times. And you were good teachers. All right, so each of these shapes are broken into 8 pieces. So this tray has 8 1/8 pieces. This tray has 8 1/8 pieces. So our pieces are cut into eighths. But how many available pieces are there? So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We should have 16 over 8. And as you get further and further more comfortable with our fractions, we'll learn to remember that division line, 16 divided by 8 would be 2. You have 2 whole pans right there. Right, let's scooch ourselves down here. How many inches wide is the butterfly? So if you get really close to it, it looks to me like it's about 3.5 inches wide. Here, you have to go to this tip because that's the widest part. All right. Round the numbers to the nearest 100. So 8 is the number we look at. If it's higher than 5, we go up. So this is going to be 800. Minus, if it's not quite 5, we go down. So we're at 600. And that equals 800 minus 600, or 8 minus 6 is 200. And we're going to draw some more here. Do need to make it a little smaller though, so it's not quite so wide. All right, divide the rectangle into fourths and label each fourth. So we can break it up this way, or you could have done 4 straight pieces, and then each piece we're going to have 1/4 written in. All right. And lastly, so when we're trying to figure out how much we're going to skip count by, we go with the largest number and we subtract it. So if you subtract 72 over here minus 64, that equals 8. So that means we're going to be jumping ahead by 8. So the next thing we do is 72 plus 8 equals 80. So we're going to write 80 here. And if we add 8 to that, we're going to be at 88. And if we add 8 to that, 88 plus 8 is 96. All right, so you can go back and check any of those answers that we've done today on that. And let's grab out your topic 12 assessment. Let's go over that real quick. So I'm just going to scroll down there really fast to see where we should be. We're going to try to get that answer done. I don't want to keep you on here too long. All right. So you have your topic 12 assessment. I am not collecting it. I just want you to go over it with me so that you can see how you did and check, and then maybe if you got anything wrong, you can see what you should have done. All right. So we know that these fractions, these colored in ones, are green. So what is the fraction of the whole that is green? It is 4 out of the 6 are green. Number 2, write a fraction to name the equal parts of the whole pizza. Okay, so each part is worth 1. Did I get rid of my text box? Okay, 1/8 is each piece. So the whole pizza is 8 slices out of 8 because nobody's taken any yet. So the whole thing is there. All right. Then number 3, which picture represents 1/3 of the distance from Mal's house to the library? Which represents the whole distance. So this one says it's 1/3 of the way. So if you took that and you went across these other shapes here, you're going to want to pick A. This is the one that shows the whole way. let's go back up to number 4. The distance from Al's home to the park is 3/6 of a mile. Which point is at 3/6 on the number line? So if we look here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Looks like point B. And then as you're learning equivalent fractions, you'll see that 3/6 and 1/2 are the same amount. Ricky says each of the fractions below would be to the right of 1 on a number line. Do you agree? Choose yes or no. So, net 5A. There are 4 pieces total, and I have 3 of them. Is that all of them? Is it past the whole? No, that's not past the whole yet. It's not even to a whole yet, is it? Oh, my messy coloring here. Okay, 5/4. So there's 4 pieces. I have all 4, and I have 1 more. So this would be after. It's to the right of a whole on a number line. So we're thinking of the number line, and we have the number, excuse me, let me draw that a little better. We have the number 1 here, and we're looking to see if the number is to the right of the 1. This one is broken up into 2 pieces, and we have 4. So 2/2 would be 1 whole. 3/2 and 4/2 would be to the right of the 1. So we're going to color yes. And then 1/3. There are 3 pieces. We have only 1, so we aren't even to a whole piece yet. So no, it would not be to the right of 1. Okay, number 6. I went ahead and did this just to save us some time. Dominic's garden is the shape of a rectangle. He divided his garden into 4 equal parts. He planted seeds in 2/4 of his garden. Draw a picture to show how Dominic's garden might look. Shade to show where Dominic planted seeds. So I made 4 spots, as equal as I could draw them, and 2 of them are colored in, 2 of the 4, or half of his garden. All right, so it says, explain how you knew you had shaded the correct amount for your picture. Okay, let me get that organized. Okay, so I wrote down my complete answer already, so let me see exactly how I said it. I know I shaded the correct amount because each of the 4 parts is 1/4. And I shaded 2 of them, and 2 parts of 1/4 is 2/4. And you can copy that down too if you need to. All right. So I know I shaded the correct amount because each of the 4 parts is equal to 1/4, and I shaded 2 of them, and 2 parts of, oopsie, typo right here. 1/4 is 2/4. Good thing I read back over that. All right, number 7, do you like my pizza? That might actually be how I might have to make one. Jeremy put pepperoni on half of a pizza. He put olives on 1/3 of the pizza. What fraction of the pizza did not have pepperoni? Doesn't ask us anything about olives, so we can mark that off there. We don't really even care how many olives were said. Half of it with pepperoni. What fraction did not have pepperoni? That would be half of it, 1/2. Number 8 says 1 point on the number line below has been named with the fraction 2/4. Write a fraction for the other points shown. So I should have put my little text boxes here. I thought I had done that. So this would be our 1/4 spot. We have 2/4. This would be our 3/4 spot. This would be 4/4. And I'll just write that in just to help us remember that 1 whole is 4/4. And then the next spot after that is 5/4. The next spot is 6/4. 7/4. This would be 8/4. And we have one more. This little guy right here would be 9/4. So that's all of them with their answer. If you forgot any of them, you can fill that in. And let's go down to number 9. Choose all of the fractions that represent one whole. Remember, so we have something broken up into 8 pieces, and we have all 8 pieces. Is that a whole? Let's make our little thing a little bigger. Okay, so yes, this one would be a whole because there's 8 pieces and all 8 pieces are there. 4 out of 4 pieces, all the pieces are there. 1 piece out of 4 doesn't have all of them. 1 piece out of 1 piece, everything's there. 1 out of 2 pieces, so that wouldn't be whole. Jared folded a piece of paper 12 inches by 9 inches into sections as shown below. What fraction of the total area is in each section? So that should be, this is 1, 2, and 3. So they've broken it into 3 sections. So each one is a total of 1/3 of the shape. All right. So let's go down to the next page. Page 11. I did some little text boxes there. It says divide the number line into halves. Write each fraction in the correct location on the number line. So I went ahead and drew my lines, cutting it in half between each of the whole numbers. And then we can just fill in our amount. So between 0 and 1 is 1/2. Between 1 and 2 would be 3/2. So we're using these numbers here. Then between 2 and 3, we have 5/2. Then we have, this would be 6/2. And so this would be 7/2. But we're supposed to put these in the right spot. So we've got 7/2 right here, 1/2 right here, 5/2 right here, 3/2 right there. Okay. Number 12 says, Lane's class is painting a mural. They spent 45 minutes painting on each of 2 days. On the first day, the class painted 1/6 of the mural. The next day, the class painted another 1/6 of the mural. So how much do they have done? They have 2 of the pieces, 2 out of 6 pieces done. Number 13, Mr. Kim needs 5/8 yard of wire for a project. He has a stick that is, oh goodness sakes. He has a stick that is measured at 1/8. Let's get back here. You guys are so patient with me. I appreciate it. Okay. Each piece is 1/8. If we've got to get to 5/8, we just need to have that measured 5 times. Because if we do 5 1/8 pieces, that equals 5/8. All right, let's go up here to number 14. Which point represents 6 lengths of 1/8? So it's broken up into 8. We're going to stop at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are at point C. Number 15, I went ahead and did the lines already. Marco divided the circle below into 8 equal parts. Show how Marco could have done this. What fraction does each part represent? So you can say each part is 1/8 of the whole. Or if you just wrote 1/8, that's totally fine too. All right, number 16. 2/4 of the shape is shown below. Draw a picture to show the whole shape and draw a fraction to represent the whole. So I just broke this in half. So I show 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces. So we need to write down, write a fraction. The whole is 4 pieces out of 4 pieces. All right, guys, we're cruising to the last page. All right. Mara believes the point marked on the number line is 2/3. Is she correct? I said this would be where 2/3 would be. So my answer would be no. The length between, oopsie, 0 and 1 are not, is not divided into 3 equal parts. They have to be equal parts to be a third. Okay. And then down here, oh, don't start. Down here, number 18. Choose all the sentences that describe this graphic. So, and 8/8 of this graphic is yellow. Is that true? No. 8/8 represents the whole thing. Yes, that's true. 5/8 of the graphic is green. Nope, it doesn't show that. 4/8 is green. It shows that. And 4/8 of it is yellow. It shows that in your book. Okay. And number 19. Divide the number line into equal lengths, then mark and label the given fraction. So I divided it into 6 lengths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And right here is where 5/6 would sit. All right, let's go to our last problem. All right. Tony collects colored strings. The table below shows the lengths of some of his strings. So he has black string, blue string, white string, yellow string, green string. And here's how long all of those are to the nearest 1/4 inch. Then it says to measure the red and brown strings to the nearest 1/2 inch. So measuring the red one, and that would be 2.5 inches. Okay, and this one, the brown one, is 2.25 inches. Okay, so now we know to add the red and the brown. So we're going to come down here. And part B says, draw a line plot to show the lengths of Tony's 7 strings to the nearest 1/4 inch. So whenever we do a line plot, we also have to have a title. Lengths of Tony's strings, to the nearest 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so Our smallest one is 2 1/4, and the next one would be 2 1/2, 2 3/4, 3, 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 3, 3 3/4, and if we had one, it would be 4. So these are all 1/4 of an inch away from each other. So how many did we have that were 2 1/4? We had 2. Let's put our little dot here. How many did we have that were 2 1/2? We only had 1. How many did we have that were 2 3/4? We only had 1. How many were 3? We only had 1. How many were 3 1/4? We didn't have any. How about 3 1/2? We had 2. And 3 3/4, we had 1. So there's our data. All right. So let's just double check. Let me see that we've gotten everything done. So we're going to skip our Envision lesson for today, and I will just move it to next week. As we're wrapping this up really quickly, we're going to be changing next week on the way we do our work, and I will be sending a video about that so that make sure that parents and students know how we're going to be changing. Our principals talked, and they've been talking with all of us teachers, and the best way we could keep teaching, but supporting our parent teachers that are doing all of the work for us at home. And so we're going to pick the most essential things. You've probably heard that word a lot during the quarantine, is essential. So we're going to pick the most essential things. I'm also going to have some optional things. So I'll go over those. And in our video, maybe I'll mention them tomorrow. I'm setting up a sign-up sheet that will go out as soon as I can get it put together, to have people sign up for a 10-minute Zoom meeting with just me. And what you would do during that Zoom meeting is tell us what you've been up to. Show us around, show us your room, show us your backyard, show us your family, show us your pets, show us your favorite toys, whatever you want to talk about for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to post it, and everyone will be able to watch each other's. So that will be kind of fun to see everybody and all of their things, and hear you talk. And I just miss you guys. So it'll be so fun to have those little meetings. And then if we get to it where we can do a whole class one again, we'll try that. It's just difficult. And the reason I'm worried about doing it is because I saw so many kids sitting and waiting and kind of looking like they were a little bit bored or something. So I want to eliminate that. So maybe if we can just do these big 10-minute show and tells from home, that'll just be between you and me. I can post it and everyone can enjoy each other's. So if you have any questions at all on today's work, please let me know. Tomorrow will be the last day of the week. Of course, you do have all the way through Sunday to get all of your work turned in. And then Monday morning, we will be starting a little bit different how we've been doing school. And let me say, it'll probably be a little less work because we have been working really hard, boys and girls and moms and dads. I've kept our lessons pretty close to how we would be doing it at school. So I have huge praises and huge thanks and huge amounts of love going out to all of the parents and to all of you students for all that you've been working on and all the work that you've been doing. I appreciate you so much. So proud of you. And we're just going to keep continuing to practice. We've just got about 5 weeks of school left. It's going by kind of fast, but boy, do I wish it was in class together. Oh, that would be such a treat. All right, guys, you've worked hard today, and I will send another video with our read aloud. All right, guys, have a great day.